been a quick turnaround. How have you been prepping the defensive line?
It's a very good offensive front we're going to play against on a short week, just trying to make sure we emphasize recovery, but also just trying to give them the best looks we can in practice.
What has Carlon Jones done to earn the reps that he got against Nebraska, and what do you think of his performance?
I thought he did good. I think we plan on getting him a little bit more snaps than he did, but in the few snaps that he played, I thought he did good. And, just with some of the injuries that we've had, he's been a guy that has just been consistent in practice. And in the past couple of weeks, you just seen him kind of take that next jump. So we were just anxious to see how he did, and I thought he did good.
And then how about with Dez? Tough Notre Dame game for him, but a really great bounce-back performance against Nebraska. What was different about his performance last week?
I thought he played faster. He was just more decisive. He wasn't second-guessing himself. He was playing downhill.
What do you think has contributed to that improvement? What do you think has contributed to that improvement?
Just putting a big emphasis on it. We watch the tape, we make the corrections, we show good examples and bad examples. We do drills in practice. I thought he had a good bye week, but just keep on emphasizing it over and over and over again.
The linebackers in general had a really good game in Nebraska. Was there something that just appeared to click with them in their
No, I just think that, like I said, I think they was playing less indecisive. They was playing downhill. I thought they played good as a group. It wasn't perfect. There was definitely plenty of stuff to correct, but we're looking just to take that next step each week.
What was your evaluation of the cornerbacks against Nebraska?
I thought they did their job for the most part. Again, it wasn't perfect. There's plenty of stuff to clean up, but when they were challenged on the outside, our biggest thing is make them earn everything downfield. I feel like they were in position to where if they did make a play, we made them earn it.
What's the biggest area that Marcellus Williams is kind of making a jump this season?
I think he's been doing good all year. He's been very, very steady, very consistent. I think the past couple of weeks he's playing with more confidence, tackling well, and he's someone that we trust out there right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw freshman Ty get a couple of snaps out there.
He did.
How has he just developed? And obviously you said as you get reps, as you earn trust in practice.
Yeah.
What do you see from him?
I mean, he plays fast, he hits, he can tackle, he can cover. He's doing good stuff on special teams, and we just see the stuff he's doing on scout team, the stuff he's doing for us on defense every single day. So same thing, we plan on getting him a little bit more reps than he got, but he's a guy that each week, we want to keep on getting him out there more and more.
Is there anything that surprised you about the younger group that's come in and every time they take a snap on the field?
I guess, we've had these kids since spring. I guess they're a high football IQ group for being so young, and I think it's just kind of just the day and age. I think all high school kids are just more advanced than they were in the past, but just everything that they've been able to do from learning different positions, from picking up the scheme, to carrying over what you see in practice on the field. I think it's tough to do as a freshman, but I've been impressed so far.
You guys got in at 3 a.m. Sunday morning and had to immediately turn your attention to Northwestern. What kind of unique challenges this week with the preparation?
You lose a day, but you just have to adapt. You emphasize recovery with the guys, and then as a coaching staff, you just have to just make up for that day that's lost.
At this point in the season, it can sometimes become a war of attrition too. So how much emphasis is there on recovery and making sure guys do those things they need to do?
Huge. It's recovery here, but then when you're not here, how much are you sleeping? What recovery are you doing at home? How are you eating? All that stuff this time of the year is huge because being healthy, like you said, at this point in time is huge.
What have you seen from Northwestern on film?
They're a very physical group. I think they're probably going to be the best offensive line we've played all year. They do an outstanding job in pass protection. They're good in the run game. They're very experienced. They've seen a lot of ball. They play well together. So I think it's going to be the biggest challenge up front that we've had so far.
And I know Eric Gentry's kind of one of one out there, but does Matai remind you of Gentry at all, or different guys?
EG's kind of his own guy, but Matai definitely has some traits that he can do some of the things that EG can do at times, But Matai, kind of has his own things that he can do that nobody else can do. But no, I definitely think that there's definitely some similarities.
Eric Gentry, he's been getting some national recognition in the past couple of weeks, especially this past game. What have you seen in his personal development, not just for the past couple of weeks, before the whole season?
Just how he took the next step in the defense. Just again, he's a very versatile guy. at this point in time now, he's played Sam for us, he's played Will. This past week, he played some Mike. So he's a guy that can play all three positions. We can play him on the edge. And, he's a very, very smart football player. He just understands all those spots. And when you have a guy like that you can move around, it helps us a lot on defense.
Was there something you saw in that Nebraska game, the first drive kind of goes the way it does, and then Lincoln talked about how big it was in the second half to come out defensively?
I mean, it was just good to see the guys respond. We knew what type of game it was going to be. We knew it was going to be up and down. We knew they were going to make plays at time. Our biggest thing was just, regardless of the environment, regardless of how big the game was, just move on to the next play and let's just play our style of ball all game and let's see if they can beat us.